How's the sound? There we go. I'm live from Santa Fe. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck what is planted. Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 and 2. It's the summer of 1999, or 89. I'm in my rocker recliner chair in the sitting area of my former home, overlooking the Pajarito Mountain. Beautiful view. I've just received a phone call from our former Unity Santa Fe minister who resigned in lieu of being fired a few weeks earlier. After the service, I'm recalling that after the service a few weeks earlier, she had assured me that when I was ready to go to the skills demonstration seminar, the last step in becoming a licensed Unity teacher, that she would recommend me, even though she wasn't still in the job. She's calling and telling me that she has decided not to recommend me. And the reason that she's not recommending me is because I did not support her in the conflict between her and the board. And I'm astonished. And I say, well, I didn't want to take sides. I wanted to remain neutral. I thought that was my job. And she said, the job of a licensed Unity teacher is to support the ministry. You did not support me. Therefore, I will not recommend you for this next step in becoming a licensed Unity teacher. I hang up the phone feeling hurt, angry, and afraid. I'm thinking, what does this mean? Will all my hard work earning 350 credits and graduating from the continuing education program be in vain? Will it all be down the drain? So I pick up the phone again and I call the Association of Unity Churches and ask to speak to the licensed Unity teacher coordinator, Trish Robinson. She gets on the phone. I spew out to her what has happened in a clearly trembling, angry voice. And the first thing Trish says is, let's pray. And I think, what a novel idea. Her first words of prayer get my attention in a profound way. And I hear her say, let us remember that we do not have to pray for divine order. Rather, we have to pray to see the divine order that is. These words reverberate through every cell and atom of my body, my heart, my soul, my mind. And I feel this gentle peace wash over me. Not only over me, but in me, through me, as me. We do not have to pray for divine order. Rather, we have to see the divine order that is. We finished praying and talking, and during that discussion, I share with her that I'm just starting my master's, my work toward a master's degree in counseling at the University of New Mexico. And that I guess I'll spend I'll be spending all my time devoted to that. Fast forward, it's now spring 1991. Reverend Paul Tonalia has recommended me, and I've successfully completed the skills demonstration seminar. And I am credentialed as a licensed Unity teacher by the Association of Unity Churches, 4 months after I've been awarded my master's in counseling from the University of New Mexico. Divine order is. And now for the rest of the story. It's now the spring of 1992. I have applied for Unity's Ministerial Education Program. It's our seminary, it's also called Ministerial School. And I'm anxiously awaiting the admissions team response to my application. And so it seems like it's taking a long time, so I go to Reverend Paul and I say, you know, could you check on this? Just find out what's going on. And it's a few days later, and he calls me with concern, or he doesn't call me, he meets with me in person, with concern in his eyes and his voice. And he says, I don't understand why, but you are not going to be invited for an interview. We are both shocked, because I have all my tickets punched. I am a licensed Unity teacher. I have a master's degree in counseling. I have served on the board of trustees. I've been an active member of Unity Santa Fe for 6 years at that point. I have given Sunday messages. I have served on ministry teams. And I'm not being invited for an interview. To say that I am disappointed and hurt is an understatement. And so I sit with these feelings, and I hear Trish Robinson's voice. Let us remember, we do not have to pray for divine order. We have to pray to see the divine order that is. And in that moment, I feel comforted. I'm still disappointed, but I feel comforted that not being accepted into the ministerial program does not mean that I will never be a Unity minister. It just means I'm not going to be one right now. You know, I'm not going to be one in the next 3 years. I think the program was 2 years at that time. So it's not going to be on my time schedule. Fast forward. It's November 1994. Because I wasn't accepted into the ministerial program, I'm still a member at Unity Santa Fe. And I have the opportunity to say yes when the Board of Trustees offers me the position of spiritual leader of Unity Santa Fe, effective December 1st, 1994. I moved from the pews to the pulpit 24 years, 3 months, and 17 days ago. Divine order is. So the human condition that today's message is focusing on is, or not focusing on, but that we want to overcome, is this idea of praying for divine order. It's also overcoming the belief that divine order is about predestination. So if you can just wipe those two out of your mind, that's not what we're talking about. The spiritual solution is to recognize divine order is. Can you say that 3 times? Divine order is. Divine order is. Divine order is. We are always living in divine order. Divine order is never out of order. We just aren't always conscious of it. We're not always willing to surrender to it, but it's always there. Divine order is the orderly sequence by which everything comes into existence. Whether it's the clothes you're wearing, or these chairs, or this building. Let's just take this building for an example. It was an idea in someone's mind. See, we call divine order in Unity, it's our Trinity. Okay, the Unity believes in the Trinity? Yes. It's called mind, idea, expression. That is divine order. And everything that humankind has ever created, we followed the Creator's example of mind, idea, expression. So this building was an idea in someone's mind first. And then that idea was put on paper by an architect, okay? And then builders came, and they brought it into manifestation. And that's true for big projects. You know, Carolyn, Carolyn's one of our past board presidents. She transformed this building. Okay, we found this building, and I saw it. Driving along 599, I said, "There's Unity Santa Fe." And it was a Middle Eastern grocery store in Delicatessen. But somehow I just saw it. And with people like Carolyn and this whole crew of people, we bought the building. And then we spent 9 months birthing it, right? 9 months of labor. And we transformed it from a Middle Eastern grocery store to this wonderful spiritual home. Because it was an idea in mind first, and then we had to put feet on it. And one of the great things that happened was someone gave us a donation of $100,000 that made it possible to put feet on it. And so those are like, that's a big deal. But you know, we're working with divine order every moment. You know, if you go into my office, much to Heidi and Wanda's dismay, it's a mess. Okay? And it could be put in order. You know, because it's just about seeing it how I would like to see it, and then taking those steps to bring it into manifestation. Mind, idea, expression. Divine order. We use divine order when we put on our shoes. We put on our socks or stockings first, right? We put on those before we put on the shoes. It's every little thing we do. Divine order is operative. So we don't have to pray for it. We just have to surrender to it, put ourselves in alignment, follow the spiritual laws, and do it. So I would like to just ask you, how do you see divine order playing out in your life? And we have time for probably one short share. So who would like to share something about divine order manifesting in your life? Not everybody at once. Okay, Deb, stand up so we can hear you. You got to get it on the microphone. Yeah, Brian's coming with a microphone, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian, I didn't give you a heads up on this. Well, that's what gets paid the big bucks, right?
So I have a really good divine order story. So I retired from UCLA, and I was looking to get out of a job that I was in that I didn't really like, and because I still had to work, I had kids in school and stuff. So anyway, I had Hunter call me and tell me about this job in Santa Fe, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to Mexico. It's sort of quirky. So you know, okay, fine, that goes on. So 2 months later, he called me back and said, they really, really want you to come for an interview. They'll pay your way and everything. So I said, okay, I'll come, pay my way. So I came out here, I liked it, it's pretty. The guy was nice that I work with, okay, great. So he said, what would it take to get you here? And I said, well, what's the salary? Because I'm a single woman, And he told me, and I'm like, no. So I went back to California, and I'm there. And like 3 weeks later, he called and he says, I have good news. And he said that they were going to meet my salary plus $40,000. So I said, I'm going to have to call you back. So anyway, I said, well, I'll accept the job, but I have to find a place for my horses. So I came out here. I found the stable I wanted. They always have a waiting list, but they happen to have 3 stalls right next to each other. I have 3 horses. So I accepted the job. I go house hunting. I find the house I want. It's $60,000 over my budget. I tell the real estate agent what I want to bid, which is $60,000 less than the asking price. They accepted it with no counter. And then I find Unity Santa Fe. And so that's my divine order story.
Yay!
And her daddy, the Baptist preacher, still loved you. And your daddy, the Baptist preacher, still loved you after finding Unity.
Oh, he adores me.
Yeah, thank you, Deb. Thank you, Deb. Okay, so I just want to mention one other idea behind divine order, and that is that Jesus gave us the answer for how to put order in our lives. Anybody know what it might be? Well, that's true. At Unity Santa Fe, it's always prayer and meditation. And the way Jesus worded it was, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all else will be provided. So absolute prayer and meditation. And then I want to share one quote with you from Michael Madej in the introduction to the chapter on order in New Thought for a New Millennium. He said, order is the music of the spheres, as well as the inner science that makes the DNA of our cells as carefully constructed as the spiral arms of some distant galaxy. Cool, huh? So it's that grand, and it's as simple as putting on our shoes. And so I invite us to, throughout the days ahead, the rest of our lives, to declare divine order is. Declare it frequently. And as with all affirmations, we don't make these affirmations in order to make them come true. We affirm the truth that they are and align our consciousness with that truth. And let's begin doing so right now in a sacred time of shared prayer. So I invite us to focus on the breath, evidence of the very presence of life, moving in us, through us, as us. And with your inner vision, hold the picture of the radiant Christ light. And let's make that light green today, healing green. And just imagine that light flowing from the top of your head to the order center behind your navel. And begin breathing as if you were breathing in and out through that area. And allow that light of divine order to radiate through every cell and atom of your body, your heart, your soul, your mind. And I'll be going through the steps, the 7 steps in developing our spiritual power of order. I'll speak the level and then the affirmation. And I invite you to silently repeat the affirmation after me. The first level is orientation. I orient my thinking to a God-created universe, governed by spiritual law. I orient my thinking to a God-created universe, governed by spiritual law. Consent. I consent to do things God's way. I consent to doing things God's way. Consent. Cooperation. Actively and enthusiastically, I cooperate with the laws of God's universe. Actively and enthusiastically, I cooperate with the laws of God's universe. Harmony. My thinking, my feeling, and my actions are all in harmony with God's laws. And I attract harmonious results. My thinking, my feeling, and my actions are all in harmony with God's laws, and I attract harmonious results. Order. I advance daily in a divinely ordered way. I advance daily in a divinely ordered way. Freedom. I experience the freedom of Christ consciousness. I experience the freedom of Christ consciousness. And the deepest level, the 7th level of the power of order, continuity. I am one with the harmonious, continuous, forward movement of God's universe. I am one with the harmonious, continuous, forward movement of God's universe. I am the spiritual power of order. I organize and balance my life according to divine ideas. And I contemplate this in the silence. And as we gently bring our attention back to this time and place, silently say, thank you, divine nature that I am, that I am the spiritual power of order, the energy of my divine nature that enables me to organize, balance, sequence, and adjust. Thank you, divine order. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That it is so, and so it is, and so I am.